All right guys, a little bit further on the project. I got the front canards mounted on the front bumper. There's two on each side. So I'm pretty excited to see how well that works. You know, I mean, it's all one package, so you can't quite tell what does what, but I'm sure these canards are going to help quite a bit. So it looks like we got a couple more goodies that came in today for the 350Z. We've got the higher flow radiator. Looks like we're going to have the front radiator mount, probably the rear diffuser, and then I don't know what the other box was. I can't remember what the heck I ordered, so we'll have to tear into it and see. Then I've got the car over here up on the lift. I started draining all the coolant, well, all the water anyways. Got the front bumper off, got the front bumper support off. I've got to take out the radiator support and the radiator, and then I'll be able to, you know, put the new radiator in and get that radiator support back in that's not all broken. This one's been buggered up so much. I fixed it a ton last year. It's got a lot of JB weld all over it and different bracing in this to try to hold it together. So I'm really in need of a new radiator support. It's broken all over the place. What's going on? Looks like I just got a CSF radiator for my 350Z race car. And the reason why I went with this CSF is because it's about a 2-inch wide radiator compared to like the one that's in the car is about maybe 1.5 inches. So this radiator is a dual core. It has a lot more flow, and that's really what I need. This car likes to run pretty hot out here. I've hit 260-degree water temps before. I can't believe that the motor didn't toast when that happened. But this radiator hopefully will help the car run a little bit cooler. If the car runs a little bit cooler, you don't get so much heat soak, which takes power away. So, you know, sometimes halfway through a race, 3/4 through a race, all of a sudden you can tell you don't have the power that you did at the beginning of the race. And if you can keep things cool, that's where power is going to stay strong throughout the race and ultimately help you win. So this car's needed a new radiator, I think, and it's about time. So we're going to open up this CSF, check it out, and hopefully I can get it installed pretty quickly. It's a beautiful radiator. It's all polished up. It is not going to look that way forever, but it looks good right now. Can't wait to get this thing put in and check it out. And, you know, see the performance that this gives the car over the previous radiator. The previous one was a Mashimoto. I've also run a Koyo. It looks like this is probably the biggest radiator that you can get for this car, other than going to something completely custom that might not necessarily fit in the location that it goes in very well. But yeah, I'm excited. This looks really pretty. And all the mounting points look like they're correct. I like this blue cover that they put on it to protect the fins. You know, you want to try and keep them as straight as possible. Nice. There we have it. The CSF 350Z radiator. Comes with a cap. It says it's a 1.4 bar, 20-pound cap, which I believe is even 0.3 bar higher and a couple pounds higher than the cap that I had on the Mashimoto, which should also help with coolant temps. I just wanted to show you the difference between the two radiators. So the CSF is on the outside as the new one. You can see how wide it is compared to the Mashimoto. There's quite a bit of difference. So we'll get that installed, put the rad fans on the new radiator, get it switched over and get the new radiator put in. Here are some more car parts. I actually have no idea what is in this box. I've ordered quite a few parts for this car, being I'm pretty much it's not a new build by any means, but I'm kind of rebuilding the car. And so it looks like these are going to be inner fenders. Yep. So here's some inner fenders for the car. I believe there's a left and a right. Yep. And I've been running without inner fenders, and I felt like it's probably time to maybe get some protection back in there. And it also helps with airflow and aero on the front of the car. All right, some more race car goodies. I believe this is going to be the rear diffuser. I could be wrong, but if it is, I'm excited that it's here because I wanted to get it installed while the car's on the lift. Oh, it is not. It's probably better that it's not the rear diffuser, and it's my radiator support that goes in the front of the car that I actually need really bad because the previous one is destroyed. And this will be really nice to get this installed in the car and get the radiator put in so that I can get the front bumper put back on and get the front splitter put on. So just one thing at a time, but this was actually a very important piece to the puzzle to get the car put back together. Let's take a look and see what's in this box. I believe it's going to be some suspension components because I ordered some more like control arms and upper control arm for the front, just because they start getting worn out. And you know, when we're in spec Z class, there were some limitations on what we could do, but in ST4 there really aren't. So I can go through and do hemispherical joints and stuff like that on all the suspension components, which really help just the stability of the car, so that it's the actual strut and suspension that's doing most of the work and the flexing instead of the flexing of the bushings. This is going to be a probably like the toe arm to be able to adjust the toe or the camber. It's one or the other. Let's see. Okay, here's these ones. So this is all for the rear. Got some grease that came with it as well. Some more grease. Let's see what's in this box. Oh, now these are the front control arms so that I can adjust the camber. That's pretty much all that's in this box. It looks like they gave me some new quick carriage bolts. That's good. Awesome. All great parts for the race car that are going to definitely help the car feel a lot more stable and solid, and a lot easier to adjust camber and toe and things like that. So it's nice to have these. I actually believe these are the ones that are going to replace the suspension bucket. There's a bucket that holds the spring in it, but when I go to a true rear suspension setup, I'll no longer need that bucket, and that way this will replace that part, and it's quite more, a lot more stable and easier to adjust.